7:18 in the morning, getting ready to start day 65. Just had a nice rest with Christy for a day and a half, and she fed me and fed me and fed me. So I feel fortified. And now I got to cross the bridge and start 2,500 foot climb up the mountain to get out of the valley. That's anytime you get to a town, you know you got to climb out.
You had to climb down to get here.
Yeah, and the climb down, the switchbacks were murder. So I'm actually glad I'm going up, because the down is really hard on your knees. Yeah, so I'm fed up, and
fueled up,
and we're going to see each other again in just over 4 days. I've got to kind of pace myself through the next section, because there's a 19-mile section that requires a bear can, and now we don't have one, so we're going to pull up short of there. So I'm not going to do over 20 miles a day for a while, which might be good for me.
Yes.
And then come out the other side with only 30 miles to get to Christie. So should be a nice walk. Well, getting ready to start. It's hard to believe, day 65.
Yep.
That's a lot of days. All right, well, time to get started and take you along with me up the mountain. And we say goodbye to little tiny Belden town. A couple of places, cabins here, a garage, an RV campground, and a resort back there. So we got to cross the bridge and start up the mountain. Back on trail. It's an old stamp mill. Wow. So it didn't take us long to get up above the highway and the river. Looks like the trail contours across there, and then those are probably our switchbacks going up over the top. Well, there's a sign here for riders to dismount before crossing. The bridge isn't here anymore. It's in the creek. So I guess you better dismount. You got to go down this and back up the other side. So this morning's hike has been kind of pleasant so far. Every canyon you go up has a nice flowing stream or little river in it. And the grade, it's been like a little up and down, but it's a lot of flat spots. It's a really good warm-up for the first couple of miles before you start up the mountain. So I do have to say I'm fortunate that way. And again, today and the next couple of days, I just take it really easy, because it's 60 miles to the place I have to camp before the 19-mile section that requires a bear can to camp. And already have put mine away, so it'll just be 20-mile days, which means I can take my time, long lunches, maybe lie down for a while at lunch, imagine. And it's just beautiful out here. There's been a surprising amount of poison oak all the way up this trail. You got to really look out so you don't brush against it. Okay, we've reached Rattlesnake Spring. It's coming right out of the ground there. I think it's a great spot for a break. What's up, buddy? What are you looking for? Sneak attack? Oh, you're right there. Are you hoping I'll give you something? That's pretty brave. Okay, it's about 9:45. We've covered a little over 5 miles so far. Just had a nice break at Rattlesnake Spring there. And I think we're about, I don't know, somewhere between 1/4 and 1/3 the way up the climb. There was that nice flat spot there with the spring. So on we go. You saw there was a ground squirrel we had to kind of protect our food from. He was very bold. Well, it's 12:30 and we just finished a leisurely lunch where I cooked up some ramen and had some Spam and a big Little Debbie cookie that was large, and feeling well nourished and taking it easy today. So we're in the middle of this like 18-mile climb. It goes up and down and up and down and then up. But I have a targeted campsite I'd like to get to. It's about 9 miles from here, so that's the goal. Should be able to make it in, even with breaks, in 5 hours, so 5:30, just about right. So today's going well, and this long climb just makes it slow, and you got to take it easy on yourself. Marathon, not a sprint. looks like this is the official dividing line where we enter the Cascade Range, and all the rock is going to start being volcanic like this, and it's where we're leaving the Sierra Nevada, which is metamorphic. That's all the granite and stuff. Interesting. So we are officially in the Cascades, entering the Cascades at trail mile 1298.2, which means that in just a little while we should pass a marker for the 1,300 mile mark on the Pacific Crest Trail. Keep an eye out for it. There it is, 1,300 miles we have walked from the Mexican border. Made it to the top of the climb. We started today in Belden at 7:30 this morning at 2,000 feet. It's now 15 after 2 and we're at 7,000 feet. So we did a 5,000 foot climb that time in 5 hours, 7 hours. So now we get to go down a little bit and then bumpity bump. Frog Spring is about half a mile away. I'm going to take a break there. Okay, just had a nice break at Frog Spring. And it's now 3 o'clock. We got 5 miles to go to Cold Spring for water. And then I think half a mile or a mile past that is, they say there's some campsites. So that should put us there in the vicinity of 5:30. There were 4, 5, 6 hikers I saw back at the spring, and that's the most I've seen all day. I had one pass me and I passed 2, and that was about it. So as you've been able to see, it's mostly burn zone all day long, and I don't know if the campsite will be likewise, but we'll see. upside down from Stranger Things. It's really wild in here. So take a look at this spring. That's some flow. So stopped at Cold Spring, drank a liter, ate some food, and filtered another 2 liters and put them in the pack for dry camping tonight. While I was there, I ran into Otmar from the Czech Republic. And interestingly, just a couple nights ago, he camped by me up on a mountain, and I remembered his name. And then he said, "Oh wait, you're Mad Hermit. Is your wife, does she do trail magic? Is her name Groovy?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Yes, I remember her from the KOA at Acton. She brought watermelon. It was so good. And you guys had the kayaks on top of your truck." And I was asking her where she was going to paddle them around because there wasn't any water there. So she explained that we full-time RV and keep them up there. Serenity Shuttle has landed trail mile 1307.4. We did 20 and a half miles today out of Belden. Big, long, 14-mile, 5,000-foot climb to start, and then kind of leveling off and making our way through the burn zone. Walking through that is kind of like walking through a continuous set of fire pits at a campground. Every step you take, and there is dust, and it all smells like burnt wood. We found a little oasis here. There are no burnt trees around us, and there's a meadow out here. So it's a safe place to camp. It's one of the few along the way without going several more miles. And we need to stay on track about 20 miles a day so that we can pull up to the edge of Lassen National Park and then get through the 19 miles of that without the bear can and out the other side. So everything's on schedule to meet Christy in another 3.5 days or so. And thank you so much for hiking with me today. And remember, we're doing the impossible, and that makes us mighty.